I'm wearing my blue.
I thought when I made the appointment,
It was like a couple Sundays ago. From Netflix at 7:30 in the morning.
Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
Yeah, you just need to. He introduced
What's your name? Work there too.
That's good. Oh yeah. Oh really?
You're in.
Cool. Because we got every meeting. Here. 7:30 on a Sunday morning. That was one of the better ones.
I'd like to go ahead and call the Tuesday, July 1st, 2014 City Council meeting to order. If I could ask you to please rise for our pledge and our invocation, which will be led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Our Father in heaven, we press on with the work of the city in this final City Council meeting before Independence Day. Help us to think clearly without confusion, to speak honestly without rancor, to debate without division, and decide courageously without contention. Grant your elected officials the grace to finish this week as patriots who love you and count it a high privilege to serve as leaders of our beloved community. We offer up our thanks and heartfelt appreciation for all our men and women in uniform, whether it be in the armed services, the Sheriff's Department, or our firefighters, all of which place their lives on the line every day in order to protect our liberty and our personal, spiritual, religious, political, and economic freedoms. In this we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and once again, welcome, and as always, a very nice invocation, Tom. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our first agenda item is our Citizens Open Forum, and it gives you a chance to address the council. We only have a couple of rules. Keep it to no more than 5 minutes. State your name and address clearly for the record, and do not speak towards anything on tonight's agenda. Having said that, anybody on this side of the room like to address the council? Perfect. Anybody on this side of the room? Yep.
Jerry Cussin, Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, have two things. One, next Wednesday night, July the 9th through the 13th, going to have the USSSA Global World Series here in Canal Park. That's going to be good. I have 60 to 70 teams at that. So anybody want to come out and see some kids playing some really good ball, travel team that'll do that. And they will also do that the following week from the 16th through the 20th. So during those 2 weeks, we'll expect to have about 1,500 to maybe 2,000 visitors in there with 800 or so kids. So it's a good thing for Canal Park. Cool. The other thing is, this is my today was the last day that I'll be president and CEO of the chamber. I'd like to introduce Jerry Peruzzi.
Good evening, Jerry Peruzzi, Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. Yes, as Jerry said, today was my first day as CEO of the chamber, president and CEO of the chamber. That's the good news. The other good news is we are not losing Mr. Custin. He has grown the Manufacturing Association so big that he's going to move over and be the director of the Manufacturing Association, Business Assistance, and the Education Foundation. So he's going to stay with us.
I think it's a great time for the chamber, and I think Jerry Custin has done a great job with the manufacturers, and I think we found that it needed more time than we had available for it. So I think that's a great thing. Congratulations both. Anybody else on this side of the room like to address the council? Seeing no one, we'll close the Citizens Open Forum. Next is our consent docket, where we have 4 items. Approve the minutes of the May 20th, 2014 City Council meeting. Approve the professional services agreement for survey services with Suncoast Land Surveying. Accept the resignation of Norm Coy from the Board of Adjustments and award a bid to Gator Grading and Paving, LLC to resurface St. Petersburg Drive from Bayview to Dartmouth. Does anybody wish to pull anything? If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you. I don't know if he's here. I don't see him. Our next item is a presentation from Representative Jamie Grant. He and I have been texting. He was trying to squeeze in something else, so I'm going to slide him down a little bit. And also, by the way, a sad loss for the United States today. 2-1 in double overtime, and they could have won it. I actually came straight from watching the game, so I still have my jersey on. But it was a great game, and the United States should be proud of those guys, definitely. Next is consider the reappointment of Cleveland Smith to the Board of Adjustments. Cleveland, would you like to come up?
He's not here.
He's not? We'll move him. Can we move him to the next agenda? Consider reappointments of Bob Harvey and Ross Roundhouse to the Planning Board. There they are, yeah. Come on up. Come on up if you want. And I think you know we do this. I think we've seen you all before, but it's a nice way for us to see you, you to meet us, ask us any questions you have, but also this is recorded, so the people that watch this at home also get a chance to see who's volunteering and stepping forward for the city, and I think that's a great thing. Do you have any questions of us?
I've been here for 20 years, so.
Which one of you is singing tonight, or is this a harmony that you're going to do?
We're neighbors too. We live 2 doors apart.
Oh, do you?
I
Yeah.
think that's on the next show after this.
Oh, it is? Oh, that's...
How many years are combined here?
Oh, geez, I think I'm 8, I think.
8, 28, 20,
Yeah.
29, something like what? Kathy?
I'm looking.
I think that's right. I think so.
Ross was appointed in 2008 and Bob was appointed in 1988. Wow. 1988.
That's when you just got out of high school, right?
You've had a lot of volunteer dinners, I'm guessing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we keep coming.
And probably have quite a few plaques, I'm guessing, as well. So,
Right.
But thank you so much for stepping forward and volunteering. Thank you.
You guys, your service.
Oh, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you.
You guys.
Next is consider the appointment of Sean Osborne as an alternate member of the Planning Board. Sean?
Hi, 555 Lakewood Drive, Oldsmar. I'm here for you guys to say yes.
Yes.
You did last time.
Presumptuous, aren't you?
Well, the other alternate didn't show up to the last meeting, so I think at least I'm showing up.
That's right. Any questions?
No. Just thanks.
Thank you so much
you.
again, really. Thank you. And I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Passes 5-0. Thank you. That's a close vote there. And this is going to be a tough vote. Consider Becky Afonso to the Leisure Services Advisory Board.
Yay. I don't know if she's done enough
This
yet.
is going to be
Don't
close.
hurt my feelings at all.
Can we call roll on this by chance? No, thank you, Becky, for everything that you do and that you continue to do. And I think the bike trail thing that you're working on, the historic bike trail ride, is just great. It really, we didn't ask you to do that. You stepped forward to do that, and it just really speaks a lot towards your love for the city and history and everything. So that's great. I don't know if anybody else has any comments or
Well,
questions.
Becky's one of my real good friends, and I go on bike rides with her. And I was supposed to go on a bike ride with her yesterday. Yesterday. But I got a tattoo, so it wouldn't have been very comfortable. But
She'll go to any extreme not to do the bike ride.
did you get?
No, this is a G-rated city council meeting.
Their shop hasn't opened up yet. I know. I would have gotten it here if we would have had one. So I'm glad we're going to get one now. I'll get my second one from y'all.
Linda, now that you've played the tattoo card, you have no more excuses.
I know.
Need a motion to approve?
Oh, so
I have a question for council.
Oh, yeah.
When would everybody like me to take them on one of the historic tours?
Can we move you down the agenda a little bit further?
Oh, you definitely want to
In
go
the
on
fall, when it's a little bit cooler?
Yeah, when it's a little bit cooler, definitely. Motion to approve?
Moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Wait a minute, Becky.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I want you and I to ride a bicycle down to our new lake.
Okay, done.
Oh, you thought you were getting scared with that or something? Really?
By the way, while I'm up here, I would like to mention that the headquarters for the Florida Bicycle Association has now moved to Oldsmar.
Oh, really?
I am the interim executive director as of today.
Nice. All kinds of great news today. And I see that Representative Jamie Grant has stepped in. He has a presentation for us. Thank you for coming, Jamie.
I don't think you asked. I think you got a
Motion approved? Did we?
second.
No, I thought we passed.
Yeah, we voted.
We voted.
Voted?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't get that? All in favor?
Yeah,
Aye. Okay.
Got it.
Just now passed 10-0, Becky. Come on up, Representative.
Good to see you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'll be fairly brief. Our office was asked to kind of give an update of the legislative session that we just got done with. I survived. I'm back home. So in that aspect, it was a good success. We did have a pretty good session. I know one of the things that was a major ask and a major commitment for us here with respect to the district I represent, and specifically Oldsmar, was the BMX park. And I think in maybe years past, the delegation maybe has not been as coalesced and working together at times. But I think the ability to get that done was in large part due to the fact that the delegation did work together. So Ed Hooper was somebody in his committee and serving as the chair there that was a huge champion for us and a great partner in the House to get that done. Jack Latvala obviously did a lot of work on the other side to try and convince some of his colleagues over there that we needed that project. So while we did not escape the veto pen completely, and there were certain things that we did get put into the budget that ended up not coming back home, overall it was a pretty good session. A couple of things to highlight, because I know Jerry and others certainly have celebrated our recognition and the support that we give our veterans. One of the things I'm most proud of this session, I filed a bill. It was actually a constituent issue a few years ago, the idea to give veterans who are honorably discharged in-state tuition immediately, rather than having to wait. So you can imagine we have a number of veterans who end up moving here to our area but don't necessarily give up residence after discharge. And prior to this year, they would have had to wait a couple of years to start getting in-state tuition and attending one of our universities. So we passed something this year called the GI Bill that gives all of our active duty, honorably discharged veterans recognition as in-state students, to the ability to attend one of our universities, whether on campus or remotely. Education, there's a lot of money coming back into the budget. I know that you've seen a lot of different stuff in the press, that the FEFP or the per student funding is not as high as it has been at the height. But I would tell you that the amount of money going into education is probably at a historic level. And so I think you saw a major commitment there. And then most importantly, lots of bad bills died at the end of session. And so we had kind of an eventful close of the session, as you typically do in year two in an election year. But overall, it was a pretty uneventful session. I think the other major issue that didn't come up that you've seen in the press is the Medicaid expansion dollars. And personally, I've been out publicly. I think it's a fantastic thing that we're not accepting that money at this point. I don't know that we can afford it when you see the clip that Medicaid is becoming in our state budget. It's just not doable at this point. And so I think you're starting to see some solutions being put forward that really look at addressing how do we truly provide a safety net that should be there for people who truly need health care in a much more efficient manner than we're currently giving it. So that's just kind of a high-level overview. I wanted to be brief. I know everybody's still probably recovering from a disappointing outcome a couple minutes ago, but if there's any questions, I'm happy to take those.
Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
I have you know how our devotion is to our veterans here in this city. In our Veterans Day and our Memorial Day, we pay homage to them. We're going to upgrade that. If that can be possible, and it is, we're going to upgrade that, both of those ceremonies. We're going to bring in the Purple Heart recipients, and we're going to try to become a Purple Heart city. If you can help us in that way, we'd be fine.
Happy to, Jerry.
And the delegation has always been a good delegation for us. It was our representative that we did not have. That was
former representative.
And you know, people say, "Why do you keep doing that?" Because I want to. Because he was lousy. Thank you.
You do this to me every year. No comment and thank you.
Any other comments? I would like to say, I mean, Jamie and I recently had some nice conversations. Of course, I've been, myself and Bruce and others have been having some transit talks with various people, including the mayor of Tampa. But we had a nice talk, and I think transit regionally, I think, is ready to hopefully step to the next level. And I know you and I had a nice talk, and I've had conversations with others, and I'm going to meet with one of the county commissioners from Hillsborough County too, because we always said that we thought that if Oldsmar was going to be in some kind of a regional transit. It was probably going to come from Hillsborough County first before Pinellas County, but it's exciting, and I look forward to having further talks with you. So thanks for all the work you did in Tallahassee.
Yeah, to that point, real quickly, I think you're starting to see more conversation that there is no efficient way, and I can attest to it. I always tell people I represent the best district in the state if you have a helicopter, because early morning breakfasts are not easy when you're going from say Carrollwood to Safety Harbor, or from Oldsmar to Keystone and Odessa. There's just not an efficient way to move east-west across our counties, and we certainly have a very significant population. And when you look at a map, and Mary, you and I have talked about this, if you look at a map and you draw the epicenter really of this North County area, we're standing in it.
Yep.
We're standing in it. And yet it's very difficult to get regionally. And so I'm happy to work with you, Mr. Mayor. I'm excited to work on that. But I think we'll start to see some progress on that front for those of us in the North County who maybe get forgotten about sometimes by our friends in downtown. But
Thank you. Any other questions?
No.
If not, thank you so much. And I look forward to future conversations.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Good.
Yep. I think that covers all that. Our next item is our city attorney.
Yes, I got 2 items on the agenda today. The first is item number 10, the first reading and public hearing of ordinance 2014-06. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2014-06, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, amending the Town Center Development Code by deleting tattoo parlors and body piercing facilities from the definition of restrictive uses set forth in Section 2.1 of Article 2 and providing for an effective date hereof. That was a reading of ordinance 2014-06 by title only. Staff is here. If you have any questions, Marie is...
Do you need to add anything, Marie?
Unless you had some questions.
Unless you have questions.
Does anybody have questions of Marie? This is a public hearing, so does any proponents, anybody wish to speak in favor of this change? Anybody? Okay, yep, come on up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dennis Lattenhauer. I'm a resident of Clearwater, 3021 State Road 590. First of all, good evening, everyone. Basically, I'm here as a student of St. Petersburg College, Public Policy and Administration. And I'd like to speak on proposed ordinance 2014-06. I'm here because I'm in favor of this ordinance to amend this Town Center Development Code by deleting tattoo parlors and body piercings facilities from the definition of restrictive uses set forth in Section 2.1 of Article 2 of the Town Center Development Code. It is my understanding that the restrictive uses of definition in Section 2.1 was in place to prevent opening businesses that are typically characterized by poorly maintained facilities, loitering, and other indices of neighborhood deterioration. However, the issue may simply be outdated stereotype placed on those industries. And as you may know, this trade is becoming more and more mainstream. It's no longer catering to only sailors, gang members, bikers, and others who fit into the tattoo stereotype. And obviously, you have now a tattoo.
There's a couple vice mayors that.
So, in fact, tattoo parlors are even becoming mainstream and opening up our local malls and selling retail items. The challenge of these types of ordinances is becoming a pretty hot topic in recent years. While researching some background on this subject, I found that 2010, Ninth Circuit Court in California ruled that a city in California with a ban on tattoos and piercings establishments was held unconstitutional because it infringed on the First Amendment rights of the freedom of speech. In 2012, the Arizona Supreme Court also ruled that the First Amendment protects tattoos in their shops as well. While in Florida in particular has not ruled on this matter that I'm aware of, and you do not have the obligation to allow the other state rulings to define your community's values, I believe it might be a great opportunity for Oldsmar to embrace the tattoo business as a First Amendment right that so many other cities do not accept. Another positive to passing this ordinance would be the fact that there should be economic benefits with having a successful business in this area, which could boost the economy of Oldsmar. Business owners will be paying taxes and other fees, and hopefully their patrons will be taking advantage of all the other wonderful businesses in your area. As for the concerns that these establishments will have negative impacts in surrounding areas, one could argue that the owners have an intent of running a successful business and reputable operation would have the same values and good business practices as those not restricted, and would also have to abide by the same city ordinances, regulations, and codes set forth by the City of Oldsmar. So, all in all, I would favor passing this ordinance 2014-06, since I do not believe the decision will fail to protect and preserve the public health, safety, welfare, and the integrity of the area will also remain intact. To address potential concerns from residents in this area, I would just like to recommend that these establishments voluntarily prohibit patrons younger than 18 years old from entering the businesses, and to have hours of operations run no later than 9 or 10 p.m. That'll be it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Can I ask him a question?
Nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you live?
I'm a resident of Clearwater.
Okay, and you're representing here for what reason?
I am a SPC student in the Public Policy and Administration program.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other proponents, those in favor? I saw another hand somewhere. Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Jay Horn. I actually work EMS in Pinellas County, actually North County, so I can see what you're talking about. It's very hard to get across the lake if you're going north, trying to get to Nebraska Avenue from Ridgemore Road. Anyway,
where's your address?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I actually live in Newport Richey.
Need a street address.
No, but we
just
your
need it
address
for the
on
record.
6341 Kentfield Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyhow, I was here just to speak. Since working in EMS, I oftentimes work hand in hand with firefighters in Oldsmar, and I've had time to speak with a lot of them about the tattoo ordinance and things coming up here. And as you all know, lots of them have full sleeves and things. Lots of their wins and lots of their losses. You know, things that they do and things that they fail at, and they don't want to forget. So basically, what I'm saying here is kind of null and void now that the vice mayor mentioned her tattoo. But I just wanted to kind of propose that the quality of individuals who oftentimes frequent those establishments is not all the time low, and that's all I was here to say today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Any other proponents? Any opponents? Those against the ordinance? Anybody wish to address the council in general? Seeing no one, will close the citizens open for the public hearing. And I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Now we can have some discussion amongst the council. Jerry?
Okay, again, the tattoos are tattoos. My grandmother in 1920 somewhere, she had a tattoo on her shoulder right here. She had a tattoo there in the 1920s. But my problem is changing the definition of our downtown redevelopment. We had that set. We worked on that for years and finally had it set. And once you start chopping away at that, what comes next? And I will point out to you that our librarian of the City of Oldsmar is against this. She's against it coming in across the street from the library. And I respect her. I respect y'all's decision too. But once you start to whittle away at this, it never stops. And that's all I'm going to say.
And to that note, I appreciate what you're saying, but to that note, I also think that the City of Oldsmar, both the current council and past councils, are very open-minded and receptive to things that may need to change over the years or for whatever reason. I mean, I don't think that we've always been perfect on all the rules that we've had with everything that we've had, but I certainly appreciate and definitely want to protect that CRA and keep it the way it is, but I certainly understand what you're saying. Jim?
Well, I think that everything is subject to change. Every ordinance, every law is a living document. It's got to change with the times. I believe here with the tattoo parlors in the downtown area, it's an antiquated piece that we add to the puzzle, and it's time for it to change. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
Well, I speak for all my biker friends and all my sailor friends, so, yeah, it's an art now. It is, and a few of the things Dennis said, keeping the hours, we have community police officers that can check, and, I'm not even worried, but it's a form of artistic expression. It's not pigeonholed into what it used to be, so, but I do agree that we can't go crazy with letting everything in, and we have to address each thing as they come up, so I'm for it.
Okay. Well, we haven't voted yet, but.
Obviously, I'm for it.
Councilmember McGee?
I didn't even think, I knew that we had the tattoo thing on, but it just came up that the bicycle thing came up. I didn't mean to do that. It just happened.
I don't have any other discussion. I don't have an issue with it.
And the only, and you guys have said everything, but the only discussion I want to have, and that's for the record, is that the ordinance was written whenever it was written, but as a council, because as a council and as a city, have gotten somewhat of a bad rap that we are not receptive to change or we're not receptive to ideas. And the fact of the matter is we are very much receptive to that. I don't know how the vote's going to go tonight, but the ordinances are basically our laws, and it's what govern us as a city and the residents and how we do things. And as the applicant knows, they came before us, we told them the procedure that it needed to happen. That is the law, and that's what we're required to follow. Is to, if you want to make a change, you have to make a request to change the ordinance. And the city was certainly accommodating, I think, in every way to do that. I can't speak for how it's going to vote, but those are the things that govern our city. And if we don't have those, then we're just a little town in Oldsmar. We're not governed by anything. So, I mean, I think I want to make sure that it's clear that we were not being obstacles to the process, but we have to follow the process. And I got calls from the St. Petersburg Times about it, and I got emails and things. I can't believe that you're being difficult about this, and that's not the case at all. We do have to follow the procedures that are set forth that govern the city of Oldsmar, and that's where we're at, and that's where we're at tonight. And I think it's a testament to the way government works, and that the people request something. It follows the procedure, and then it comes before the council, and we vote on it, whether we all vote for it or against it, or we split the vote. But I think it's neat to see the process actually work, and that we adjust things for the residents if needed. So that's really my comment. And I agree. I mean, I think the discussion that we had is that times have changed, that it's a different era now, the Hells Angels, and, I mean, my CPA has one. I know attorneys that have them. I didn't mean you. You feeling a little guilty there?
I don't feel guilty at all.
No. I'm a big sissy. Otherwise, I would probably have one. But at any rate, and and again to the process, I will have to say, and I think I made this, and I don't mind saying this in public, is I think from the applicant's point of view, it was probably handled a little bit backwards and probably should have done a little bit more homework. And I think we would still be where we are today, but she may not have had to expend the money. And I felt like we were being pressured to make a change as opposed to finding out what the procedure is. And because there are restrictions, it is a CRA. There are certain things that you can put in. There are certain restaurants that you can put in. There are, there are requirements when you're in a city like this. So I felt like we were kind of made out to be the bad guy when in fact that wasn't the case. There's people come in all the time for, I want to build this. What do I need to do? What are the rules? What are the procedures? They either come to the city or they come to the chamber to find out about that. But we are where we are tonight, so it shows that the process does work. So with that, any other comments? If not, we can roll. What are we doing? Roll call.
Councilmember Beaverland?
What is this for now?
This is a roll call. This is where we vote. This is your first year?
Actually, it probably could be. No.
Councilmember Hronik?
Vote aye.
What?
Aye. Yes.
Councilmember McKee?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Aye.
First reading of ordinance 2014-06, amending the Town Center Code definition of restrictive uses to no longer include tattoo parlors and body piercing facilities is passed with 4 votes for and 1 against. Councilmember Beaverland voting against.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to item number 11 on your agenda. This is the first reading and public hearing of ordinance 2014-07. I'll read that ordinance by title only. Ordinance 2014-07, an ordinance declaring the intention of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, to annex certain real property located in Section 23, Township 28 South, Range 16 East, further described as 0 Phoenix Avenue, parcel number 22 28 16 96660-009-0020 into the corporate limits of the City of Oldsmar and providing for the effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2014-07 by title only.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to address this item in general? I'm sure we don't have any. No? If not, I close the public hearing, and I need a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? If not, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bevon?
Yes.
Councilmember Roniger?
Aye.
Councilmember McGee?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis? First reading of ordinance 2014-07, annexing vacant lot on Phoenix Avenue into the corporate limits of the City of Oldsmar is passed with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Anything else?
Thank you, that's all I have.
City manager.
One at a time, Mayor.
Oh, sorry, that was one was waiting for that, one at a time.
Mayor and Council, item 12, reschedule the first regular meeting in September to Wednesday, September 3. Our regular meeting date would be Tuesday, September 2nd. And I know from the past, we usually have to move at least one of the meetings because we cannot have a budget hearing on the same evening as the county commission or the school board. And that's not the same reason that we have this year, but we still need to move the meeting because under the budget calendar set forth by the property appraiser, the earliest date we can have a budget meeting is September 3rd. So that is my recommendation, that we move the first regular meeting from Tuesday, September 2nd to Wednesday, September 3rd.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion, any conflict, any problems?
Yeah, I will not be there, but it doesn't matter if you change it either way. So.
Okay, all right. Motion and second, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye, passes 5-0, thank you. Anything else?
That's it for me.
City clerk?
I don't have anything to.
No other glowing news? No, news? The date has been set.
Nose.
The date has been set.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, September 23rd.
All right.
Yes.
Jeez, look at her. City council.
Did you notice what she just did?
She blushed.
You notice that with her left hand?
Yeah, she went.
Oh, yeah, with the ring? Oh, yeah.
Can't get over that, can you?
I think her right arm is feeling neglected because everything is with the left. Oh, we're so excited. She's getting married, for those that don't know, so. Next item is the City Council wishes to discuss a resolution to grant honorary citizenship for the Veterans Memorial Wall. This is something that was done in the past with Gus Bilirakis and.
This actually goes beyond that.
Oh, back, okay.
That's something I had mentioned for.
And this is something that I was requested, and I've kind of expanded it. The request is for Deputy Sierra to become an honorary member of the City of Oldsmar, so then he can be considered for the Veterans Memorial Wall. That, of course, goes before the Veterans Committee, and they decide that. And then the other one, which I think is also much needed, is Jerry Custon. I think we would be honored to have him as a honorary citizen of the City of Oldsmar. And I'd like to have a resolution drafted to include them as honorary residents of the City of Oldsmar. Any thoughts?
Well, does this go back to what I wanted to put on the agenda, Bruce?
No, your item about the holidays, we haven't scheduled that yet. We're going to ask the chairman of the committee to come. So this isn't really related to
Because I
that.
thought you'd already done that.
No.
We'd already done.
Okay. Well, you and I had a discussion. This is what this was all about. Okay, that's fine. But this will be on the next one?
Well, I still haven't scheduled them.
Well, schedule it for the next one, please.
It probably won't be on the next one, I can tell you that.
The next one
Well,
will be
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
long.
you're right. Okay. Yeah.
We have enough on the next one.
We got enough on the next one.
We only need one item for that.
You're right.
We just included this resolution as an example of what had been done in the
Okay,
past.
here's what, okay, I do have discussion on this. We need a policy, a ironclad policy, that whoever we're going to nominate to do this, and I agree that the person that we bring forth has to, in my opinion, or I won't go for it. I've already lost one thing tonight, 4-1, so that doesn't mean I'll win that one either. That individual that we want to place a special citizenship on needs to be somebody that has dedicated themselves to this city, not for 2 weeks and not for 2 months, but for years, for years.
And I mean, I think that's something that the committee could look at and establish after, but I think both these have met that.
Who are we going to, is this going to be a council thing or the Veterans Committee?
Well, it would be up to the council by resolution to award someone honorary citizenship. That would be the council's decision. And then if that person chose or wanted to be on the Veterans Wall, that would go to the committee and they would give a
Well, this is what
recommendation
this is
on it.
all about, isn't it?
And then, yeah, I mean, we can, yeah, and then the committee would then approve or deny their,
No, I don't care about, no, the committee does have no, this is a council decision, who we want to make a citizen.
I understand that, but the putting on the wall is something that goes before the Veterans Committee.
Yeah, but they're going to do that because we want them to.
I understand that, but that's the process.
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. We should have done this before. But the criteria has to be ironclad.
Well, I mean, I think that's something that the committee can discuss among themselves.
I think the committee in the past has rejected applicants that the council.
They rejected them because they were not citizens of the city, nor were they made honorary citizens. I believe that happened in East Lake Woodlands, and I don't recall what too. Suda, I believe.
Suda's dad.
Suda's dad, but.
And I think Jerry too.
But to make somebody an honorary citizen is not up to the Veterans Committee to make that decision. That's up to this council to make that decision.
Well, it's through a resolution, and that's what we're doing. But then it gives them, that then moves them into the next step that allows them to go before the committee.
Right.
Correct. And if they want to establish criteria for what qualifies to tighten up their criteria, I think that's something that they can discuss if they want to amongst themselves, you know. I certainly think that these guys both meet, you know, the commitment and time to the city of Oldsmar. But I understand your point. I don't know if that's something that they want to put on an agenda or, you know, to discuss criteria for that after they get through this, but.
Well, they
or they can just do it on a case by case.
criteria for who goes on the wall. I think that it's a two-step process, but theoretically, you could bestow honorary citizenship on someone who's not a veteran. It's like a completely different issue.
Right.
Well, not completely different, but it could be. So tonight, the question is, are you going to authorize the city attorney to prepare a resolution granting honorary citizenship to Rick Serra and Jerry Custon? Those are the two people the mayor has put forward. So that's really the question you need to answer. Are you going to authorize the city attorney to prepare such a
You want a
resolution?
motion?
We already have one. We have a motion and a second.
Oh, you already have it?
That's how we got to the discussion part of the game.
Where have I been?
I don't know where you've been.
Remember that?
I thought we made a motion.
No. wait.
We did? All right, then make all right, motion.
Where have you been?
You don't just start chiming in.
I think Tom could have been right on there on your one too.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Now, any further
We actually
discussion?
making motions under discussions?
Yeah, because we got to prepare a resolution.
You're just basically directing me to prepare it and I'll bring it back. That's your action.
Yeah, that's our action. Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Vice Mayor, no?
No.
Motion, all in favor? Aye.
You can't do it under
Opposed? No, passes 5-0. Thank you.
I thought it was all.
That's it. Oh, discuss public art project. Bruce, if you would like to bring up the discussion that we had earlier, and I'm sure you've had for public record.
Well, we can talk about that, I'm sure, but Council Member Norris also had a proposal or suggestion that she wanted to, I think, put forward this evening.
Oh, okay.
You want me to talk first?
Sure.
Okay. I have a good friend that is a music professor at USF, and I've been in contact with her, and she's getting in contact to ask questions to the art professors at USF to propose to them to have it be a class project or a PhD thesis project. And it'll be up to the individual art professors to see who would like to take it on, because it's going to be, it'll be pretty important because it's going to be something that's going to be forever here in Oldsmar. But the pros there are we can get together with them, I can get together with them and give them the ideas that we liked, the ideas that we didn't like, give them a little bit of guidance, but then the class or the PhD student will do all of the work for their classwork, and all of that planning won't cost us anything. And then they can bring their ideas to us in front of council, or we could have a work session so that they could bring ideas to us and before anything goes forward, just to see if we can all agree on something. And she said that she's getting really good reception for it. So I would really like your blessing to go ahead and go forward with that, because I think it's a really good idea. And
I mean, I think we had this discussion about, you know, involving the schools or a school or a group to do that. I don't have a problem with that, and I think it may kind of dovetail on what Bruce's idea is about a location that I think works out well. I'm sure he's talked to you, but if you want to go ahead and do that, then that may solidify where we want it, I think, but.
I went to USF and I was in their, I was in their art department, so I know that the quality
Sure.
of their art is
USF has-
mine wasn't, but
Yeah.
theirs is really good.
No, they have-
And that should come after we discuss something, this other thing.
Well, that's fine, but they work.
But I
together.
did want your
University of South
blessing to
Florida
be
had
able
one
to.
of the best graphic classes that's where Andy Warhol came, Ruschenberger came, and that's where they got their graphics, was the University of South Florida. Go ahead.
So basically, I just wanted to make sure it was okay with all you guys if I went forward with it, because right now it's just inquiries. It's not anything
Well,
set.
Okay, let's let Bruce talk about it, and we can, I guess, either agree to both components together, or one or the other, or both, or neither, and go that way.
Yeah, my suggestion was that the funding be earmarked for Market Square, in that it would still be public art, but that would be where the project or the object or whatever would be located. It's not, pinpointed tonight, but, we expect the Market Square project
Best
to
place for it.
develop over the next several months. So that was my suggestion, that we identify that as the location somewhere as part of that project.
I'm fine with both components of this public art project. I'm fine with the location, and I think something by students at USF I think would be great. So, I think our biggest problem was the location. We weren't happy with it. I like that. We also talked about schools, so I'm fine with that, because Lord knows we couldn't come up with a decision between the five of us, so.
And it would be a nice feather in the cap of the USF art department too, to be able to have something that's going to be forever.
Yeah, I think so. What do you need from us?
Well, unless there's objections, I think we can just proceed with that as the direction at this point.
That's fine.
Obviously, there'll be other decisions to be made down the road, but as far as tonight goes, I don't think you even have to vote on it, if
That's
you
fine.
think.
Is everybody, are we all in
Just
favor of
by
that?
consensus, unless there's
Yeah,
an
I think-
objection.
Gabby?
What direction do we want to give Linda, though, just to have her?
Well,
speak on
I
our
think at
behalf
this
to
point,
them, or-
tell them that we're going to proceed. I don't know. I think we want to kind of see, this is my opinion, I think we want to see how the RFPs turn out for the Market Square, what kind of ideas are presented, because I think the two need to work in harmony, I think, the project and the thing. So, I think you let them know that we're in favor of that, and once we move forward with the Market Square, that we might have some idea of.
Well, we could also give them that preliminary site plan for the public space that Stantec prepared. And, that's what it is. It's a preliminary site plan, but that would give them something in terms of the property. Of course, it's larger than that, but.
It's going to go in the public part of it.
Give them something else to work with or from.
And then
Okay, and then what I could also do is when whether it's going to be a professor that's going to take it on for a class, or it's going to be a PhD student that's going to take it on, I could have a meeting. We could set up a meeting, or however you guys want to do that.
And I think once we get to that point, I think we can do that. I think the one key thing that we found out about the last process that we went through, and they need to make sure that they make this part of their project, is we need to know, A, is it constructible, and B, are you going to be able to do it within the budget that we have?
Right.
And we would have more money, actually. Would we earmark that towards that for that project that would go with that as part of the?
I don't think so. It's tied to buildings.
To build, okay.
And to public buildings.
And those aren't public buildings.
This money came from actually this
Right.
project.
I didn't know if we would have more.
Well, Mayor,
water
once we get this going with our public square down here, we can work with the developers and the builders to help.
Oh, we can have them help fund too. I think this is a kind of a work in progress, if you will, but I think to let them know that we want to proceed. We've got the location. It's going to be in the public space. And, right now we have a budget, but that could be expanded if we,
RFP due back for Market Square?
end of the month.
I think it's the end of this month.
Okay.
So, and then that'll give you some direction.
Okay.
We'll start to have some
Great.
direction. So I think so. I like the idea.
Yeah, but also I think, just in 60 or 90 days, at a future council meeting, you can just update the council on what you found out from USF at that point. If you need something in between now and then, just ask me or let me know.
Well, I'm actually going to be at my friend's house Thursday night, so I'll go ahead and say that we can go forward. And
I think they need to understand you know, the history of Oldsmar. I don't know if you take Jerry's book and let him look
I-
through that and really get a feel. I know, I'm sure you have schooled him on it, but.
Right, what I want to do is give them all the information, whenever the school, the class or the student is chosen, give them all the information, all the way up to how far we've come, what we liked, what we didn't like. Give them a copy of Jerry's book is a great idea. So I want them to know everything. I don't want them to just, I'm gonna make up this nice art project and put it in Oldsmar. I don't want to do that. This is gonna be something forever.
Yeah,
So
I think
want it to be
they need to
special.
kind of know the history of where,
Right.
how, you know, how we became the city that we are today.
On the topic of art or functional art, just to mention real quick, when I was in Miami 2 weeks ago, they had a really neat like sculpture downtown that was basically, you know, just metal sculpture that went up like this, but in the center of each of them was like a bougainvillea tree. So eventually the bougainvillea would cover, you know, the entire piece of it, but it was kind of like this canopy with sidewalks in between it, like a central park, and it was really, really pretty. And right now, while the bougainvillea is young, you know, it kind of looks like this metal type sculpture, but eventually it'd be this really pretty.
It'll blend into
I took
it.
a couple pictures. I'll have to share it with you and Marie and everyone, but.
I think there's some talented people around, and USF certainly has some, so I'm fine with it. I think we're unanimous with that, so we can march on.
Great. Yay.
Next item is comments by council members. Councilmember Beaverland. Round one.
Round one, okay. I just want to mention Joyce Rockwell. She's been here since the late 1930s, and she passed away. And Mike, her son, was in 96 and 97 was my vice mayor on council, and it's sad. That the saddest part of it is I tried to, and I should have done it myself, but I didn't. We should have interviewed her because she had about 60 years of knowledge in this city. Yeah. Anyway, so to Joyce's family, our condolences. And I don't know how I like Jamie. He's a representative, and I know he tries for us. We're a stepchild here, and I don't understand why we're a stepchild in Tallahassee with our representative. 95% of his territory is in Hillsborough County.
Yeah, we knew that was.
And to be kind of blunt with it, that sucks. Okay. We need to be represented by somebody from Pinellas County. Who knows? Now, I don't know how we do that.
I don't either.
Run against Jamie.
Yeah, but it's,
No.
yeah, I mean,
No.
but the problem is Safety Harbor and Oldsmar and part of Eastlake is only I don't even know what it is, 5% of his territory. No, even if you ran, it wouldn't matter, it would still only be 5%. The redistricting really
It's the
messed it up.
redistricting.
Yeah, it's the redistricting that really.
Now, I think we should work with Jamie. I mean, he understands the position we're in. He has to. But we need to work with Jack and get Jack's advice when they redistrict this thing, get us back into Pinellas County.
Yeah.
That's in 10 years.
Well,
agree.
You're going to have influence pretty soon.
I don't know about that. Not going to be able to change the maps in Tallahassee.
Well, if you get influence pretty soon, you help us up over there. Because we need to be represented by somebody in Pinellas County that's not named Peter Nair. Okay?
I hate when you sit on the fence like this.
Oh, goodness.
By the way, his signs are coming down. He's got illegal signs on the city, and you've already taken how many of them down?
At least two.
Two?
Well, a couple of big ones.
And you're gonna work on the 3 more?
Yeah, he's working on it, as far as I know.
Anything in this city? Get these signs out of there. They're illegal, they're too big. I want him gone.
Signs don't win
And thank you all
elections.
for who you are.
Councilmember Roniker.
He's tough to follow. I didn't have anything, but I was kind of caught off guard during the council comments, citizens open forum, I'm sorry. And, I want to thank Jerry for his service as the leader of the chamber. A lot of people don't know I made the motion to hire Jerry in the early days of the chamber when he first went to work.
Jerry C.
2002, 2003, no, probably 2001, 2002. Yeah, it was a while ago. And Jerry has been with the chamber the whole time I've been on council for the last decade and a half. And I just want to congratulate you on doing the job that you've done. I've never probably met an individual with more integrity, honesty, and hardworking effort that you've done in this position. And you know, I'm going to miss you in that position, but I also, you know, I know Jerry Peruzzi very well too, and you know, I look forward to working with you as well. But it came as a shock to me. I did not know this was going to be announced today. But I want to congratulate you personally on a job well done, and thank you for your service to the city.
Mayor, thank you, Jim. I apologize that I didn't mention that, and we just talked about 2 days ago, and you didn't say a word about this. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. Why you didn't say a word about this? And I would put it on the agenda now.
Made my life keep a secret.
Oh, I can't keep a secret?
No, that's his life of keeping secrets, yeah.
I would like to have us honor him some way in some kind of something at one of our next council meetings, not the next council meeting, because maybe the council meeting after that, we need to honor Jerry somehow.
Well, I think this kind of caught us all off a little bit off guard. I mean,
sure did.
Yeah. And I'll reserve my comments, but yeah, I think we can probably do something. So.
That's it.
We'll get with the chamber and the, you know, and the city, and I think that's doable.
Hey, because of him, he got the thing a month ago. This month he got it.
That's why I quit.
The business.
Yeah, that's why he quit.
But on the other token, I am excited to see him work with the manufacturers, because the manufacturing sector here in our city and the surrounding cities, they're unique cats. Excuse my language, but they are unique in the sense that they're not ones to join the chamber and want to be sold a telephone or an insurance policy. These guys are very reserved. They keep them themselves, and Jerry will be an excellent conduit for that group of people. So, in that token, I'm very happy for you, because I know that's one of your passions. So.
And I think that's what kind of happened, that it was really starting to consume the time and the day-to-day operations of running the chamber. You know, it's kind of, you can't wear both hats. They were both getting pretty big. So,
but there is a need for the manufacturing sector. So, happy in that respect.
Councilmember McGee.
Jerry, thank you. I of course also was surprised, but congratulations on your new role. That's very exciting, and congrats to Jerry Peruzzi on his new role as well. And I don't have anything else, just happy Independence Day. Yeah. I'm saving the birthdays for next meeting. Okay. Till 11:30 at night. I'm gonna just keep it going a little bit longer for you. But just everyone have a great Independence Day and be safe this weekend. That's it.
Thanks. Vice Mayor?
I got a couple things, and of course, Jerry. Oldsmar wouldn't be the same without you, Jerry C. It really wouldn't. So, and also Deputy Sarah. We have to have a shout out for him, because he got a wonderful new job, and he's not going to be our community policing officer representative. Is that the title that he had before?
Community police officer, yeah.
Right.
CPO.
And so he's getting a promotion, so congratulations to him as well, and he'll always be an Oldsmar citizen, so that. And then I have to say congratulations to the U.S. soccer team in the World Cup today. Even though they lost, their goalie, Tim Howard, was phenomenal, okay? It looked like we should have lost 10-0, and he now holds the record for the most saves in recorded World Cup history with 16 saves, and that's 50 years of recorded World Cup history. So
incredible. It's
incredible, and I didn't think I was going to make it on time. It was so exciting. So I just wanted to say that it's just so nice to be able to have that kind of pride of country when we're going up against, the world. It was really, really cool. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was the temporary ban on nitrogen and phosphorus in our fertilizers from June 1st. It started on June 1st and it goes to September 30th. And basically, with all the rains and everybody fertilizing their yards and everything else, it goes into our waterways. Algae blooms happen, cuts all the oxygen off. The fish can't breathe. It messes up our whole ecosystem. So this is a real crucial time to make sure that you look at. Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm going to fertilize my lawn tomorrow.
Well, just make sure that instead of The number, when you look at the numbers on the side of your bag, it's got to be 0, 0, and then 10 or whatever for the other one, potash or whatever. That doesn't hurt the fish. But it also hurts humans. It doesn't just hurt the fish. If there's a lot of, I know Lisa could probably explain this much better than me, but when there's a lot of phosphorus and nitrogen, or nitrogen in, you know, it creates ozone and ammonia, and we breathe all of that. So until September 30th,
As of January.
don't fertilize.
Through September.
And happy Independence Day. That's it.
Also, again, congratulations. I never changed. I still have my World Cup shirt on, so it was great. And I found out one interesting stat today that the United States, other than Brazil, the United States was the most represented at the World Cup by people that traveled, which was pretty incredible. And the other interesting fact about the United States and the support of our teams is that of all the World Cups that have happened throughout the years, the one World Cup that had the most attendance, which had less games and less teams, was the one that was held in the United States at 3.6 million attendees, averaging about 60,000 a game, as to oppose about 40. So, I mean, hats off to the United States for supporting our guys that go out there. We support our troops, but we love our athletes as well. So, also to Jerry and Jerry, I think it's great. We work together a lot on various things with the chamber, and I think Jerry Prusi does a great job with the businesses, and Jerry Custon, you've done a great job with the manufacturers, and I think you have kind of created this problem by doing such a good job with the manufacturers, and it is exciting, and as Councilmember Roniker said, they are kind of a tough group, and I think with Dick Peck and the group, and I mean, and I say this isn't just manufacturing in Oldsmar. I mean, and you can address this if you want, but it's manufacturing throughout the area, all the way up into Hernando County. I know you've helped up in Hernando and the various counties, and Hillsborough County, and things like that. So the manufacturing is certainly an interesting animal, and it's great that the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce is the one kind of spearheading and shaping that. And I know Jerry Prusi's going to do some great things with the everyday operations, and that's something that we want to make sure that we do that, and our relationship with the city and the chamber get even stronger than it was. I mentioned earlier that I had a phone conversation with Representative Grant recently. I've probably updated you. We went to that economic summit, Bruce and I, and some other elected officials went to that. And what I saw was a real eye-opener from what I've seen. I've been here since 1982, and the mayors of basically Tampa and the mayor of St. Petersburg have really never extended their arms across the bay to really try and make a unified transportation system. And I think I found at that economic summit, and through conversations with Representative Grant, I went last Friday and met with Mayor Buckhorn of the city of Tampa to kind of, tell him about the city of Oldsmar and our plans, and show him our transit map and why we think we should be included in this. And whatever happens with Greenlight Pinellas, which I understand that in North County, they just did some polling, and it's got a 62% in favor response from the people. And I think, having been here this long, that transit is something that is very important to us, and whether it benefits us directly right now in the city of Oldsmar, we would obviously like to see that. But I think when you look at it regionally, it certainly is going to include the city of Oldsmar, because the tracks run right through the city of Oldsmar. We've got a perfect transit station that we could location for that, and there's some other things. I'm not going to lie, I talked baseball with Representative Grant. They all like the idea. I met this morning with the head of the MPO from Hillsborough County. We kind of shared ideas of where we are, because we're really trying to formulate a game plan as to how we collectively as a region move forward for transit and become a competitive area. Other than Detroit, we're the next largest city that doesn't have a really good mass transit system. And that's unfortunate, because we have a lot of young professional people, and I think they would definitely benefit by it. I also met with the new head of the independent group for Greenlight Pinellas to talk about that, and he shared some great ideas. They're going to have a function sometime in July with North County with all the businesses that are stepping forward. We're talking with Nielsen, and Nielsen, I think, is going to be a supporter of it because Nielsen is the largest employment center or employer in all of Pinellas County with about 4,500 employees. So their employees would certainly benefit by an improved transit system. So I think it's great. I think it's something that needs to happen. And I mentioned this, I think, at our last council meeting that at the economic summit, I can't remember which one of them said that if we don't make a step forward in our transit plan, and is Greenlight Pinellas the best plan in the world for everybody? No plan is ever the best thing. Everything we do in the city of Oldsmar isn't the best thing for everybody. As we found out tonight by 4-1 vote that we can't be all things to all people, but I think from a transit perspective, and I mentioned this to Mayor Buckhorn, and I've been involved with transit for a long time, that it's really time to bury the hatchet and for us to have a regional transportation authority. Hillsborough and Pinellas County have to stop being Hatfields and McCoys and really take a step forward and make a unified effort to get the people from, because nobody cares. They don't care, Hillsborough, Pinellas, they don't really care. They just want to have a better, more efficient system, to get to the airport or to get to St. Petersburg or get to downtown Tampa like you do in other cities. I couldn't tell you when I go to New York or I go to Chicago, I don't know if I'm going from one county to another or what I'm doing. All I know is I get on this one and it gets me off over there. I don't know that I've gone through Hillsborough or Pinellas or 7 counties or 9 counties. All I know is it works and it's dependable. So that's kind of exciting. So we'll see where that goes. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to meet with County Commissioner Ken Hogan and talk to him because he's, I guess, a pretty big advocate of a kind of a regional transit. So Heartline, which is the PSTA equivalent in Hillsborough County, has really been the stumbling block. They haven't wanted to relinquish, any of their power and make a unified transportation system. But I think, as you heard tonight, and as I continue to hear, and you'll start to see in the newspapers, that I think people are really starting to realize that, we need to do something or we're going to become obsolete. And I had a conversation with somebody today about transportation, and we've come to the conclusion that, we spend a lot of money on roads, but, everybody's looking for a payback, and not everything always pays back. But, we've come to the conclusion that we pay money towards taxes towards roads, but they don't really directly pay us back anything, but they do from an economic standpoint because, employment centers happen around improved roads, highways and residential developments happen around them. So in a reverse way, and I think we just need to get over that fact that, we're expecting this transit system to be a money generator. It's not, but what it does is it employs people, it opens businesses near the transit hubs, it brings bigger companies here. And so from an economic standpoint, a really good transit system is a big win for, and no transit system, Chicago, New York, Miami, none of them pay, they don't pay for themselves. It's something that the taxpayers do, just like the highways and the roads and the tollways and everything else. It's just the necessary evil of the transportation network. So I'm excited about the conversations that we've had. It's, it takes up quite a bit of time, but I think I'm seeing that it's for a great cause. So,
Mayor?
Yeah, this is number 3, by the way, for you today.
I know, but you're bringing something up here. We're not talking about Greenlight Pinellas, are you?
I'm talking about the whole regional transportation thing.
The whole region, but Greenlight Pinellas is not for the city of Oldsmar. It does nothing for us.
It does, and it does some. It doesn't do as much as we want.
It doesn't do anything for us. Not a thing. Greenlight Pinellas does nothing for North Pinellas County. I'm going to tell you, I agree with you. We should work with Hillsborough County more than we work with Pinellas County. I agree with you on that. A mass transit this way is fine. When Stella develops her 100 acres out here, we're going to have more hotels. And this is going to be another, we are already a destination. That's going to be another destination, and that's true. Greenlight Pinellas is going to sap all the money for that stupid train from Tampa across whatever they.
No, I don't think so.
That's exactly what the money's going for. It's not going for more.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not even part of this. Part of the Greenlight Pinellas. That component of it is not part of that. And I mean, I don't want to get into a green light discussion here because I think we're going to have somebody from the green light people. Because I said this today that I think Brad Miller does a great job at running the PSTA and running the day-to-day operations, but I don't know that he was.
Well, the last time they were here, it was for the tracks.
That was Brad, and I don't know that he did a great job of.
He did a terrible job.
Okay, and my point is that I've had some conversations and that I think, although it doesn't directly benefit us in Oldsmar, I think the improved system throughout is something that the area needs. And is it everything to everybody? No. Is it everything to Safety Harbor? No. Is it everything to South County, south of downtown? No. Is it everything to Tarpon Springs? No. But I think regionally, I think it's something that
we are not regional, Mayor.
Pinellas County. I'm talking about
local. We are local.
We are the city of Oldsmar. But it's something for a referendum for all of Pinellas County. But I don't want to get into that right now.
I totally agree. But I do agree with you on Hillsborough County. On this
and that's what we've been told over the years is that if there's ever going to be a connection to the city of Oldsmar, it's going to probably come through Hillsborough County. So
it won't come in my lifetime, but it may come in yours.
Yeah. So
keep working on that.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
That part of the Pinellas County, and I don't want to get into this tonight, but you brought that part of it up. I'm going to do everything I can to kill that thing.
I'm going to schedule a work session for you too.
But at any rate, so.
I'm not going to attend.
We'll have a ring with ropes and things like that. Other than that, happy 4th of July. Whatever you do, be safe, be with your families if you can. Don't blow off any digits. And when you grill fish sticks on the grill, you got to turn them this way because if you turn them this way, they fall right through the crack. So just a cooking tip from I learned that from Mrs. Paul's fish stick. So. Anything else for the good of the cause? Oh yeah, he's excited. He went to our new lake.
Our new lake, Jerry. Our new lake.
That's at the kind of the northwest corner of Forest Lakes Boulevard and Racetrack Road. What is it, Tom? 109 acres or something like that? 107 acres.
The lake is incredible.
We're really excited about that, and I have some ideas for that, but I'll reserve those for another day.
Take a guide when you go down there.
Yeah. So at any rate.
Becky, you'll never ride a bike down there.
Okay, enough out of you, Jerry. I need a motion to approve the tentative agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Pass 5-0. Thank you.